Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Startup Central, and let's put the spotlight now on Univest, which has secured $10 million in a Series A funding round that was led by Bertelsmann India Investments. In fact, the strategic investment arm of German giant Bertelsmann SE and Company. Now, the company aims to become a research-first stock market super app for retail investors, providing solutions for everything from selecting the right picks to timely exits on a single platform. So let's get in a word from Bertelsmann, which currently is investing in AI, deep technology and climate spaces, on their investments and what they make of the India market amidst geopolitical shuffles. Joining us now, of course, is the company is a big boss. We're now joined by Rohit Sood, the partner, Bertelsmann India Investments. Thank you very much, Rohit, for joining us here on ET Now. My first question to you is, could you talk us through about the funding for Univest and the kind of monies that you're pumping into the company, and how will the proceeds be used for by the company?
Sure. So Univest is our latest investment of 2024, and we have invested nearly $8 million in the company. The plan is to expand the platform. Firstly, Univest is actually a new age brokerage platform, which is advisory led. We believe that there are 2-3 trends in the market which has influenced our decision for this investment. Number one being the rising disposable income, which is a theme that has been prevalent for the last couple of decades and will continue to be there, which leads to higher savings, and into the second trend of increasing financialization of the savings, and public markets is the obvious choice for the Indian customer. We believe that currently there are 45 million active DMATs, retail DMAT accounts in India. We believe that will cross 100 million in the next 5 to 7 years. And a new age platform will be needed for the new users joining the public market, where more handholding will be needed. And that is where building this platform is where most of our capital will go towards.
Okay, Rohit, but are you looking at more fintechs like Univest to invest in currently, given the massive interest that we've seen in stock markets? And secondly, would you be focused only on fintechs, or are you looking at diversifying into wealth tech as well?
See, fintech is a very core theme for us as Bertelsmann. So we are early growth investors. While we are sector agnostic, financial services has been a very fertile ground for us. We were early backers of companies like Lending Cart, which is one of the largest SME working capital loans provider. We were also early backers of Rupeek, which provides loans against gold. This year, in 2024 itself, we backed a company called Basic Home Loans, which provides affordable home loans to the consumer. And then Univest, we believe that actually, lending is a very hot investment ground for a while and will continue to be. We also see on the wealth tech side a lot of movement happening over the last couple of years. As I mentioned, the disposable incomes are rising, and the time is right for such businesses to emerge. So we do believe that this will be an active area for us to explore in 2025 as well. Along with this in fintech, I would say, just to name out another trend, I think there's a lot of upgradation of banking infrastructure currently happening, and I think we will see transactions happening over there as well.
Okay, Rohit, so how would you define your investment philosophy? I know that you've invested in deep tech, climate tech, but what are the other sectors that are looking attractive to you in 2025? You've invested in AI as well.
No, definitely. See, as I mentioned, we are sector agnostic. The core theme that we go after is to back sector champions. And what I mean by that is that we are interested in category defining and industry leading companies only. If you look at our portfolio as well, you'll find that flavor across. We were the first backer of Eruditus, which is an e-learning company, which is currently valued close to $3 billion, global company. We are the largest shareholders in Shiprocket, which is into logistics tech. Again, the leader and one of its kind company, I would say, in the world. There is no global benchmark for that company. We are early backers of Licious, which is a branded meat D2C company. And similarly, we have such flavors across our portfolio. The idea is to back a company that can create a category or be the leader in the category. That has always been our investment thesis. We come in fairly early in the journey. We actually over-index on the defensibility and differentiation, and obviously back only the A teams. That has been our strategy. To your other question on emerging themes in 2025, there are a bunch of themes that we are excited about. There are evergreen sectors like healthcare and financial services, and we will continue to evaluate opportunities there. But there are several emergent things as well. Especially if you look at a lot of current unicorns or large companies built over the last 2 decades, they have largely focused on the top of the pyramid customer, who we define as the 200 to 300 million, English speaking population of the country, which has a higher disposable income. But we see a lot of businesses being built for the next billion, or the Bharat economy. We already made a couple of investments over there. One of them being Rosanna, which actually takes the e-commerce model right to the villages. We are also doing a similar thing in healthcare, which we will announce, in some time this year. So that is one big theme. We also see the flavor of deep tech in AI actually taking shape. We invest on the application layer of things, so we believe that there'll be more for us to do this year. And then there are generally other themes like climate tech, and so that we are always looking at.
All right, Rohit. So what kind of outlook do you have for startups and the funding environment for 2025? In fact, data shows that there's been a little bit of an improvement, at least if you see the first few days of January, compared with what the industry saw in 2024. And of course, experts say that the industry still has dry powder. Would you call the funding squeeze in 2024 largely cyclical? And of course, what you're looking forward to in 2025?
There was a large dip in funding, post the 2021 period. Now, every year since then, 2023 over 22 and 24 over 23 has been marginal improvement. So we continue to be bullish that 2025 will also see improvements in that area. But I would actually point out to a couple of other things. See, in 23 and 4, if I have to say anything, more than the funding dip, actually, what was worrying in second half of 2022 and first half of 2023 was the slowing growth of companies, or the more diminished or relatively weaker consumer spending. Because funding gaps, are cyclical, and we are very long term investors. We are balance sheet investors. We have a very good staying power with our companies. And hence we worry less about the funding environment, but more about the fundamentals of the business. And in that regard, I would say the second half of 2024 has been encouraging, barring aside, the latest quarterly reports of the listed companies. But generally, there has been an uptick in consumer spending and business spending in our observation. So that has been encouraging to see. The second big thing was, if you look at the funding gap also, by the way, in Indian VC ecosystem, the dry powder is the highest as it has ever been. So early stage funding, I don't think will be a challenge. The bigger problem was created in the late stage funding environment. And over there, actually, IPOs have been a very encouraging story for more than one reason. And it has taken the large brunt of late stage financing gap. It has also returned a lot of capital to LPs and investors in the VC funds, which is great for the ecosystem. So I just hope that that trend continues in 2025, and it bodes very well for the long term.
All right. Thank you very much, Rohit, for your thoughts on, of course, not just Bertelsmann India investments, and of course, the fact that you are quite bullish on the India market, but also on the overall sector. So you're saying that 2025 looks promising so far as funding in the sector is concerned. Thanks very much once again for joining us here on ET.